Hey you guys, it's Sal here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to be filming part 2 of my full collection, my full perfume collection. I'm going to be going through all of my fragrances and deciding which ones I would repurchase and which ones I would not. So I'm going to start up here. So Mancera Roses Vanille, it's beautiful, it's very sweet, kind of vanilla, gourmand kind of fragrance. I don't think I'll be repurchasing this one just because this is 120ml and I'll probably never get through this bottle anyway. But it's not one of my like all-time favourites anyway. Like I like it, I really enjoy it, but it's not an absolute love. Like I do love it, but it's not one of my like all-time favourites, if you know what I mean. So no, I would not repurchase that one. Molecular one, I've had this one for years. This is my 100ml. No, I would not repurchase it just because it's not one that I really reach for that often anymore. It's still nice though, I still like it. It's just not one that I would repurchase. Next we have Montguerlain Intense. I probably should have grouped this with my other Montguerlains. Oh well. So Montguerlain Intense, this one is a more intoxicating version of the original. I might repurchase it, I'm not sure. I would need to see how I feel once I actually run out. It might be a repurchase, but I'm not sure. It's very nice. I really like this one. Next one is La Rive in Women Red. This is a dupe for Armani C Passion. No, I would not repurchase this one. It's not memorable, it's not got the wow factor, but it's still very pleasant. It's a nice work fragrance. It's a nice kind of floral, fruity floral kind of fragrance, just nice, clean and floral and feminine smelling, just really good for every day or great for going to work, doing chores, whatever. It's just kind of a nice everyday kind of smell, but it's not particularly memorable and it doesn't have that wow factor necessarily. So that's La Rive in Women Red. Next up I have my two Black Opiums, Black Opium Original and Black Opium Intense. I love both of these, you guys. I absolutely love them. I don't know which one I prefer, but I have a feeling I would always want to have the original in my collection. So I feel like this would definitely be a repurchase, and I'm going through that one quite a lot. So that would like definitely be a repurchase straight away. I'm not sure if this one would be. This is a really new bottle as well, so it's like really full. If I ran out of it, I mean I'm not going to run out for a very long time. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that would be a repurchase. Definitely the original one would be though, for sure. It's one of my favourite fragrances ever. I think the thing with the Intense one is I haven't actually worn it enough times to really get to know the fragrance, if you know what I mean. Like I've worn it a few times and I really like it. I love it actually, but I just haven't worn it enough to know how much I'm gonna love it, if that makes any sense. But definitely the original one, I would never want to be without that. I just love it. It's so addictive, you guys. It's just amazing. I love it so much. Beautiful, sweet, floral, coffee, vanilla fragrance. Okay, so now we're moving on down here. So this is a new fragrance that I have in my collection. It's Vanille Violettes by Les Senteurs Gourmands. This was a fragrance which I did a perfume swap with Lizzie from the channel Rose and Jones. We did a perfume swap, and this is the fragrance that she sent me. It's a really nice, sweet vanilla fragrance with a kind of hint of violet as well. I actually decided to use this fragrance as the one to decant into my little decant bottle, because for ages I didn't know what to put in this. I kind of wanted a coloured liquid to sort of look a bit fancier or something rather than a clear liquid, so I decided just to decant some of this one in, and I really like how it looks. It's beautiful purple violet coloured juice. I actually think that this one's been discontinued, so I wouldn't be able to repurchase it anyway, so it's kind of a discontinued fragrance. Very nice though, very nice sweet vanilla and violet scent. Next up is my Ann Summers Aphrodisiac. This fragrance is actually really quite good. I kind of dismissed it for a while as just being like, because this is one I bought years ago before I really started my collection, And then once I started my collection, I got really, really distracted by all the new ones that I was buying, if you know what I mean. And this one kind of fell by the wayside. But actually, I've tried it again recently, and it's really good considering how cheap it was. And you can buy it so cheap. Like, I think if you go into the Ann Summers website, they've changed the packaging. They've actually like redesigned the bottle. I mean, I really like this bottle, but the new one is very nice as well. It's more of like a faceted diamond like effect glass bottle. So you can still buy this one. It's extremely cheap, you guys. Like, you can buy it. This is 100ml. You can get the 100ml for under £20 or something ridiculous like that, and it's got very good lasting power. It is almost what I hoped Juicy, Viva La Juicy Noir would be. I tried that fragrance and it was a kind of a fail for me. It just smelled a bit like shampoo to my nose anyway. But this fragrance is actually what I hoped that one would be, if that makes sense. So basically the description of Viva La Juicy Noir is, to me, how this one actually smells. So if you like the Viva La Juicies, I do think you would like this. It's just a very fun, flirty, just a really girly, flirty fragrance, and I just really like having it. The bottle, I also really, really like the bottle. Next up we have Kenzo Flower Elixir. This was in my top 10 for life. I absolutely adore it. It's absolutely amazing, you guys. It's completely addictive. It's like a thick, almost treacle-like kind of fragrance. It's like a thick treacle, dark, powdery, seductive kind of date night fragrance, and I absolutely love it. It's extremely addictive. Yes, I would run out and rebuy it in a heartbeat. Like, I never want to be without this one. I've heard here and there that this one is being discontinued as well, but you know, I check the discount sites every now and then, like All Beauty basically, and they do still have it kind of reduced on there. So it's still available, and like I'll definitely repurchase this one. It's so, so good, you guys. This one is a proper, this is like a lifer. Like, I'd never want to be without this one for sure. So that's Kenzo Flower Elixir. Next up is Mon Guerlain Eau de Toilette. I've decided that this one, I don't quite like this one as much as the original Mon Guerlain. This one is a bit, actually I've decided it's kind of a bit lackluster. Like, it's still perfect for every day and it's still a nice floral kind of feminine fragrance. But it's more translucent, it's more citrusy, and it's not got that voluptuous cloudiness or the powderiness that the original one has, and that's kind of one of the main reasons I love the original so much. This one is just much more translucent and airy, and it doesn't have the same texture as the original Mon Guerlain, but it's still very nice. Like, it's a perfect everyday reach that you just don't have to think about. Like, if I was going to work, if I was going somewhere where I just wanted to smell pleasant, of course I'd reach for this one. It's like a fantastic fragrance, but it's just, I've decided I don't love it as much. It doesn't inspire me as much as the original Mon Guerlain does, I'm afraid. So that's Mon Guerlain Eau de Toilette. Also, I hope the sound is okay in this video. I noticed that the sound in the part one was a little bit what's the word? A little bit tinny, because I think I was too close to my phone rather. Like, my face was really close up to it, and I think the sound was like a little bit not great. So I've got my face like further away this time, so I hope that the sound is a bit nicer for you guys. Okay, so if we just move down now to the rest of my fragrances, I have Prada Candy. Now, I only bought the 30ml, so I never really intended on having this one for like a super long time. I just kind of bought the small bottle because I really wanted to like properly try it. But it is actually very, very nice. I think I've seen it on discount sites. Like, if I could get it reduced, then I would buy another bottle. And I've gone through that one a wee bit. I can see me running out and then missing it. So I think it might be a repurchase, Prada Candy, the original one. I've not tried the other ones. I am curious about them though. But I think, I don't know, this is the one that I love, so I think I would probably always just stick with the original. And yeah, it might be a repurchase. It's beautiful. Next up is Viktor & Rolf Bon Bon. I keep meaning to say Flower Bomb, but it's not Flower Bomb, it's Bon Bon. This one is just a really, really girly, sweet, flirty, caramel and peachy fragrance. It's like fruity and caramel-like. Very sweet, very, very nice, and also quite well made. So it's kind of juvenile, but it's like, it doesn't smell cheap, if you know what I mean. It's really, really nice. I don't think it would be a repurchase. What I probably will actually do is, once I run out of this one, I'll probably buy the couture version, because I've heard that that one just has more to it. It's more kind of complex, a bit more mature. Just, it sounds like it would be more for me actually, and I actually prefer the bottle of the Couture one as well. It's got that like shimmery, beautiful, almost like metallic effect on the side of the bow. It's like a really beautiful bottle, so it's kind of on my wish list as well, but I'm not going to jump into buying the Couture one until I've like used this one up, or until I've used up some other fragrances. Like I'm trying not to buy that many fragrances in general at the moment, so, but yeah, like if I ran out of this one, I would probably buy the Couture one rather than rebuying this one. But it's very, very nice. So that's Viktor and Rolf Bonbon. Next up, my La Petite Robe Noires from Guerlain. Now, this might come as a bit of a shock, but I probably won't be rebuying any of these. Like, I think they've kind of had their day. Like, I still wear them and I really like them and things like that, but I'm kind of like slightly tired of them and just slightly over them. The only one out of these three that I think I still like actively enjoy and actively really, really like is probably the Black Perfecto. But the other ones, particularly the original, for some reason it's very uninspiring now to me. Like the original La Petite Robe Noire kind of just smells a bit like cherry, and that's sort of all I get from it. Maybe a bit of rose, but it's not like, it's almost reminiscent of like kind of a lighter eau de toilette, just like everyday kind of pleasant, again, very nice fragrance, don't get me wrong, but it's just not memorable to me. Yeah, basically. So no, I would not repurchase that one. I have a backup bottle of the Black Perfecto anyway. There it is there. I have two of those, so I don't really need to, answer the question for that one, because I already have a backup bottle. It's very nice, that one. I do really like it. And the La Petite Robe Noire Intense, this one is actually, it's really, really good, but I struggle to find the right occasion to wear this one too, just because it is very intense, complex, rich, and sweet. It's kind of got that candy floss and blueberry note in it, which makes it very, very indulgent, and vanilla and things like that, and patchouli. Like, it's very, very heavy and very there. Like, it has a very strong presence, and it's very sweet, like almost too sweet sometimes, but it's beautiful. Like, I prefer the Intense to the original for sure. Like, the Intense one is more interesting to me and I much prefer it. But I don't think it would be a repurchase. No, it's not one that I like crave. It's not one that I feel like I need. So no, I would not repurchase that one. Next up we have my La Vie est Belle's. So I have the L'Eclat, the Eau de Parfum L'Eclat, and I have the Intense. Not Intensiment, but just the Eau de Parfum Intense, which I think has been discontinued. I really like these. The only one that I've kind of gone off a little bit is the L'Eclat, just because it's quite a piercing orange blossom fragrance. Like, it's really, really strong of orange blossom. Like, there is a bit more to it than that, but it's quite bright and zingy, if you know what I mean, and I have to be in the right mood to wear it. Also, it's very, very strong. Like, all of the La Vie est Belle's are very, very strong, so like, I find it hard to commit to actually spraying it, if that makes sense. Just because when you spray it, it's there all day and then some. So for that reason, I don't actually reach for the L'Eclat that often. The Intense is really, really nice. This one is beautiful. It's kind of got that hazelnut note and the whipped cream, and it's very, very sweet. Really nice for the winter time. But no, I don't feel a burning desire to repurchase either of these. The only thing I would probably do actually is, once I run out, is I would probably just buy the original one, because I did used to own the original La Vie est Belle and I really liked it. And I have like a mini of it. I have like a 5ml mini of the original, and it's actually really beautiful. Like, I'd kind of forgotten just how beautiful that fragrance is. And I kind of miss it sometimes, because these two are very different from the original to me, and they don't have that same, like, the original one is, I just miss it sometimes. So I think what I would probably do is, if I ran out of these, I would buy the original one, the original La Vie est Belle. Next up we have SOPHIA by Sofia Vergara. Very, very nice fragrance. It's like signature worthy. It's just a really perfect everyday scent. Whether, no matter where you're going, it would do the trick. It's beautiful, very affordable, but it's not like a wow. It's not one that I am obsessed with. It's not one of my lifers. It's not really that kind of fragrance to me. So no, I probably wouldn't repurchase that one. Tom Ford Noir Parfum. This is a gorgeous spicy vanilla fragrance, but it's not spicy in a super strong way, and it's not spicy in a masculine way. This is a very feminine fragrance to me, which I love. Quite sweet, but in an expensive, like luxurious kind of way. And I just love this one. This is the 100ml bottle, so I don't think I would need to repurchase it for a very long time, but I possibly would repurchase this one just because it is so stunning. It's a really amazing fragrance to have in the collection, I think. So yeah, I probably would repurchase that one. So that's Tom Ford Noir Perfume. Next up is Ariana Grande Cloud. This fragrance is really, really nice. It's probably one of the best, like, super affordable fragrances you can get, as well as the SOPHIA one. Like, these two are really, truly excellent affordable fragrances. But in the same way that I wouldn't repurchase SOPHIA, I probably also wouldn't repurchase this, just because, I don't know. It's one of these fragrances that I've enjoyed having, but once it's done, it's kind of done, if you know what I mean. So no, I probably wouldn't repurchase that one. Next up is Flora Botanica, and some of you guys may already know what I'm going to say about this one, because this is actually a repurchase. I used to own the 50ml bottle when I was a teenager, and I've rebought this 100ml bottle very recently. In my most recent haul video, I hauled this one, and this is a repurchase, and I don't know if I would repurchase it for a third time. I don't know, because I mean, this is 100ml and I don't think I'll run out, like, kind of ever, but it has been a repurchase and I absolutely love it. So that's Flora Botanica by Balenciaga. Next up is Jessica Simpson Fancy. This is a really nice, sweet, kind of bright, uplifting fragrance with some caramel notes, slightly fruity, really, really beautiful. Probably not a repurchase though. The atomizer kind of annoys me a bit. It's not the best atomizer, and I'll enjoy using it again, but once it's done, it'll just be probably done. This is the 100ml bottle, so it's going to last me ages. Next up is Mongerlan. Yes, I would probably repurchase this one. It's stunning. I love it. It's like my favourite from the Mongerlan line. I love it so, so much, you guys. It's so nice. Just a classic. It's like an absolute classic, timeless fragrance that I think will just never go out of fashion. And no matter what age you are as well, I just think it's suitable. I mean, everybody wears what they want anyway, obviously, but I just think, you know, when I'm describing what age this fragrance, like, reminds me of, this doesn't have an age. Like, this is suitable for anybody. I just love it. It's just so classy, timeless, elegant and sophisticated, and I adore it. So that is the original Mongerlan Eau de Parfum. Next is Dior's Poison Girl Eau de Parfum. I would 100% repurchase this in a heartbeat. It's just one of my absolute favourites. I just adore it so, so much. So that is Dior Poison Girl, the Eau de Parfum, not the Eau de Toilette. Next, Hypnotic Poison. No, I would not repurchase it because it's been reformulated and it's not as strong as it used to be, I don't think. But what I would do actually is, once I run out of this, I would be very tempted to purchase the Eau de Parfum, because I'm really tempted by that one. I think it lasts longer and it's a bit stronger and everything, so I'm really tempted to try the Eau de Parfum. But again, I'm not buying as many fragrances anymore these days, so I'll probably wait until I run out of that one and then I would buy the Eau de Parfum. Next up is Hugo Boss, the Scent for Her Private Accord. This one is stunning. It's a very beautiful gourmand fragrance. It has notes of coffee, kind of orange, cocoa. It's kind of a powdered cocoa fragrance, and the orange in this smells more like orange zest, or like the outside of an orange, like an orange peel. It's not a juicy orange that's in here. It's quite refined in a way, like, it's just beautiful. It's very unusual. I love this one so much. I don't know if a lot of mine has evaporated or what, but it's gone down very fast and I'm not sure, but I might repurchase this one. The lasting power isn't great though. So actually, for that reason, I probably wouldn't, just because it really doesn't last that long on my skin. So I wouldn't repurchase this one, but it is very, very beautiful. So that is Hugo Boss Private Accord. Next up is Parfum de Marly Athalia. Now, I love this fragrance. I really, really do. It might be a repurchase, but I don't think so. I think I would really, really enjoy wearing this one, but once it's done, like, again, as I say, like I've mentioned this before in my previous videos, it really is very rare for me to actually repurchase a fragrance. I only rebuy fragrances that I'm completely enraptured by, you know, fragrances that completely inspire me and that I'm kind of obsessed with. So a although I enjoy this fragrance, I just don't think it's like totally repurchase worthy for me. I would rather repurchase Delina exclusive, I think. So that is Parfum de Marly Athalia. Next up is Lancome Poem. This is a really beautiful fragrance. It's quite mature though. Like it's stunning, and I love having it in my collection. It's such an interesting, unique fragrance, and I think it's a truly beautiful creation. But when I run out of it, I think what I would maybe be more inclined to do is not rebuy it until later on in my life, like decades down the line. Then I think I would be more inclined to purchase it later on in my life, just because to me it smells quite mature. But it's really, really beautiful. It's absolutely stunning fragrance. Next up are my kind of Larive fragrances. I'm just going to kind of group them all in the one thing actually, just because I bought these, like, they're nice, but they're not repurchase worthy for me. Like, they're not amazing, like, they're really nice, but for example, you know, this one smells like Poison Girl, and I would just rather buy, like, I would repurchase Poison Girl, but I wouldn't necessarily repurchase this one, Fleur de Femme. I don't feel the need to have both in my collection all the time. So if I ran out of both of these, like, I would just buy, like, the proper Poison Girl rather than this one. Again, this one actually, the She Is Mine fragrance, this is a dupe for Yves Saint Laurent Mon Paris, and what I might actually do is if I run out of this one, I would just go and buy the Yves Saint Laurent one, because I do really like this, and I think I would enjoy the actual original Mon Paris. So I think I'd be more inclined to do that. Sweet Hope, this is a really good one actually, you guys. Like, if you're looking for a dupe of Hypnotic Poison that lasts longer, I would check this one out. Like, this is a really, really good dupe of Hypnotic Poison, the Eau de Toilette. I would definitely check this one out. It's super affordable. Smells pretty much just like it. It's stunning. It's like a stunning fragrance. They're cheap, but they don't smell cheap. They're really good, but just not repurchase worthy. It takes a lot for me to want to repurchase a fragrance. And last up is Valentino Valentina Poudre. This fragrance is really stunning, but I think I would not repurchase it because it almost kind of reminds me of, they don't smell identical, but it kind of reminds me of Narciso Poudre, and I would rather repurchase Poudre rather than this one. This one is just more linear, like it doesn't have as much to it. It's kind of not got that total wow factor, but it is stunning. It's a stunning fragrance, and I'm glad I have it, but I just don't think I'll repurchase it. Thanks for stopping by, guys. See you in the next video. Bye!